All right, happy Thursday. We're back. We're back for a second edition of the Throwback Thursdays with yours truly, your man Rory T. Edwards. If you want more information, you can definitely go out and reach me at, send me an email at Rory, RORYT, EDWARDS1 at gmail.com, or visit my website at www.rorytedwards.com. Now, if you looked in the description, I want to talk about something that I think was very profound that just occurred last night. And since it's Black History Month, I'm going to talk about, I think, a word that was very prevalent in the black community in the 70s and 80s a little bit. And as the title says, the title is Your Word is Your Bond, right? So I always used to be brothers are going around, and at the end they would be like, yo, that's on my bond. That's my word is my bond. And so it was funny that I was at an event last night, and two young fellas were walking to each other. One of the guys said to the other guy as he was walking away, he said, word is bond. And I looked at him and I laughed, and I said, young man, let me talk to you real quick. I said, so you said to him, what did you say to him? And he said, I told him my word is bond. And I said, wow. I said, you're kind of young to really know what that means. I said, but where'd you hear that from? What you know about that? And he says, well, I heard my father say it on the phone. I said, well, what does it mean? And he says, I don't know. My father was just saying it and it sounded real cool, so I'm just using it. I said, well, what if it had a derogatory effect to it? Would it still be cool? And he said, well, I don't know. I said, well, you know what I should do? I should explain to you really what it means. But you know what I'm going to do? You have an assignment. I said, next Wednesday night when I see you, ask your father, what does he mean, and what was he saying and referring to on the other end of the person receiving that statement, word is bond. And so I say that because today so many of us are in positions, we lead with our titles, and we are in positions to say to someone that if I ever get into a place where I can help, I'm going to make sure that I reach out. And they'll end with, my word is my bond. And so there's so many people who have passed out cards with executive level positions on them. And then when you ask them how many people they have helped who look like them, they look at you like they've just run into a ghost, because they're unable to answer that question, because the perception of the title does not meet the position for which they perceive to have had or to have. And so when we talk about your word is your bond is the only thing at the end of the day that you have to stand on foundationally. It's a fact of the matter is that you may meet me in my most destitute moment, but the one thing, brother or sister, I can rely on and I can give you is my word, that I will fulfill the obligation of my word. And so many of us have assimilated into so many times using words, but not understanding that those words are the foundation of your legacy. And so sometimes what we do is we put our word on bond on quicksand. And as soon as somebody asks you for something, the first thing you want to respond with is that, well, that's not, within my ability. But again, if you are passing out information or you're leading with your title, then that title gives you certain obligations that you need to fulfill to those who may be in need of services that you may offer. And so for this Throwback Thursday, I'm going to be real short. I'm going to lean on the fact that there's nothing wrong with you obtaining a position of perceived power. Understand that power, utilize that power, but truly at the end of the day, understand the power of the word, of your word being your bond. Because on the real level of how we move forward, the only way we can advance anyone's agenda is on the foundation of their word. And so I hope you have an amazing Thursday going into your weekend. I hope that your weekend is positive. And please understand that at the end of the day, The only thing that you have, no matter how much riches you acquire, or how much material items that you lose, the one thing at the end of the day that you have to stand on is your word. So make sure your word is truly your bond. Until the next time, until next Thursday, or maybe even before then, this is your man, Rory T. Edwards. Again, you can reach me. Send me an email at rorytedwards1@gmail.com. If there's something from the old phrases that you would like for me to discuss, please send me an email, and I will try to address it from the best of my ability. And guess what? That's word is born. All right? You all have a great Thursday. Be well. All right. Peace and blessings, family.